Welcome and thanks for tuning in. I'm Hannah and this time I show you how I drew the portrait of an Australian Shepherd with pastel pencils, PanPastel on Pastelmat paper. The supplies I used I put in the description below. When I start a new project, I pick a small segment as a starting point. That's usually the eye or like here the nose. That's not for a specific reason, but it just helps me to get started somewhere. That's something I like to do during the whole working process. I just pick a spot and work my way outwards. And I always have a small piece of paper next to me to check out if I really like the color I picked. The next step is to put down a color map where I establish a rough base of coloring and get the light and darks in. When drawing the eye, never forget that it's a sphere, so all reflections and shapes are more or less curved. And also that the eye reflects the world around it. So if you change the color of the drawing or your background dramatically, you also have to adapt the reflections. Otherwise it will look really odd. And really look what you see. For example, the white of the eye is never actually white. And pure white does not exist. It always reflects its surroundings. When it comes to working in pastel, I really love that I don't have to be super careful about how even I put down my base layer. It blends so easily that as long as you keep a light pressure, it will always blend super smooth. But never put down too much pigment and it will fill the tooth of the paper extremely well and fast. When the base layer is down and very smooth, I start building up the layers, and then I start to watch out in which direction the fur grows. With pastels, I use my finger as well as different paper stumps to smooth out the color. At this point of the process, it doesn't make a real difference, but later on it does. With my finger, I still can push the pigment into the pastel mat when the stumps start to lift the pigment up. Now I start to put in a bit of the background so that I can judge my colors and the contrasts better. And with a bit of the background in, I start overlapping the subject with the background to avoid to get a halo around it. I use my PanPastels for that and use a simple sheet of white paper as a mixing. Putting the bit of the background in has a huge impact on the dog's head itself. As you can see, it pops out way more. So that's the end of part 1. I hope you liked it, and I hope I see you in about 2 weeks for the second part. See you soon, bye!